Salutations, my name is Summer and this is Sterling Reads, and I have a little prim here and I have Rolo up there and I have Finchurch and Roger behind me, and somebody was just in litter box. I'm not sure who that was. Anyway, I have finished a couple of things and I thought I would tell you about them and let you know what I'm currently reading right now. Anyway, I finished My Family and Other Animals by Gerald Durrell. I always want to say Durrell. I think it's Durrell. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. This is his memoirs, starting out when he was 10 years old, and his family moves to the Greek island. And yeah, it's a really I don't know, I want to say it's like charming and lovely. It's funny too. The family seems a bit outrageous, but then, so I don't know how reliable the narrator is, how reliable Gerald's memories are of this time. But when I was 10 years old, if I could have been bringing in animals, I would have been bringing them all in. And luckily, I had parents that were like, hey, leave things alone. You can observe, but nature has a way of taking care of itself in most cases. I mean, in some cases, I was able to help some animals, but most of the time it was like, no, you need to leave things alone. Anyway, chapter 8 is a beautiful chapter. It's all about the turtles on the island and how he observes them. And yeah, it's just a lovely chapter. And it reminds me of, so one of my favorite books is The Grapes of Wrath by Steinbeck. And there is a part, I want to say it's like chapter 3 or 4. It's been a while since I read it. But there is a part where there is a turtle that is crossing, like slowly crossing the road. And as he crosses, the heels of his feet are crushing grains into the road, like planting seeds. Anyway, I absolutely love that part. But I loved chapter 8 about the turtles. It just felt like there was something magical about it. Anyway, not long after that, there is a really funny story. Well, I don't know. I go between thought it was funny, but I also was like horrified. And I would have been so mad if I was in this family when this happened. So he finds a scorpion, a mother scorpion that has all these little white babies on her back. And he decides that he wants to observe her at home. So he captures her and he goes and he puts her in a matchbox. And then it's dinner time when he goes home. So he puts the matchbox on like a fireplace mantle and forgets about it. Now, I don't think that's very believable because I know if I had a scorpion, especially with babies, I would not be leaving it for a long period of time at all. But anyway, he left it on the mantle. So after dinner, his brother, I think Larry, there was Larry and Leslie, but I think it was Larry. Anyway, he goes to smoke and he opens the matchbox, and of course, the scorpion flies out with all these little babies, and they're all over the house. And I would have been the most angry person you've ever seen because I would feel like for the next couple months I'd be looking for scorpions everywhere. We had scorpions in the house when I lived in Texas, and so you always had to, shake out your shoes before you put them on. Before you get into bed, you have to go through your sheets and your pillows and make sure that there's no scorpions around your bed. That's why I never want to move back to Texas. Like, no. So that part, I was so like furious. I mean, it was kind of funny. I get that it was supposed to be funny, but I would have been a very angry person about that. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to the next two stories in this. I'm not going to go right into it because I have so many other things that I'm wanting to read and get into. But I really enjoyed My Family and Other Animals. I thought it was very good. So something I listened to was called Sandwich, and my leg's falling asleep, and I got little Prim here, and she's been sick. Anyway, yeah, Sandwich. Everybody seems to be talking about this on YouTube, and it's by Catherine Newman, I want to say. Anyway, there were parts I really liked about it. It's about a woman who is older and she's married and her children are older now, and they go to a beach house, and it's just kind of like all the little things that happen in a relationship with kids, with your husband, and after being with somebody for a long time, all that, plus the whole menopause thing, which, it was it's kind of depressing. It's like, I don't want to know. Like, let me be surprised. But yeah, I went between really liking it and finding it a bit depressing. So, but yeah, but I listened to that on audio. Something else I read like in a day and a half is Five Little Pigs by Agatha Christie. This seems to be a booktube darling, and I really enjoyed it. This is about a woman who, when she was, I think, maybe she was a baby, maybe she was 3. I can't remember because I'm getting our main character and the main character's aunt confused. Because they were both a lot younger. Anyway, yeah, so this woman, she got a hold of Perot. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. Because her mother was accused of killing her father and actually, was charged. And before her mother died, she wrote a letter to her daughter saying, "Hey, I did not kill your father. I'm not guilty." So she's wanting him to do his detective work to see if he can find out if her mother really was innocent. I was wrong about who I thought was guilty, which is wonderful. I love being wrong when it comes to these. It's like, if I can figure it out, then I don't feel like it's that great. So I was really happy that I did not know who the murderer was. So yeah, Agatha Christie. I have to be in the mood for mysteries, but it was a lot of fun. So I finished Engines of God by Jack McDevitt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully I am. Anyway, I read this for the sci-fi club that Shawn D. Standfast and a couple other people have started. And I feel like I don't read sci-fi very much, but some of my favorite books are sci-fi. So, anyway, I was loving this at the beginning. There were things like, they were archaeologists. They were going and finding this, this ancient city, and there's things about religion and trying to figure out what type of species, and just, there were all kinds of mysteries, all kinds of things that you would like to figure out, that kept me like intrigued, and I was just loving the beginning of this. I actually ordered the next 2 books from the library, and they came in, and by the time I finished this, I sent the other 2 books back, and I was like, no, there's other things I'd rather read. So I can say I liked this book, not enough to carry on to the next 2. I don't want to say too much because I haven't really said anything in the chat, because there's people who haven't even started it yet. But what I want to say about it, why it didn't work for me, is because I felt, number one, choices that were made didn't make any sense to me. And it even didn't make any sense, like, oh, we know what's going on. Oh, we don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, we know what's happening. Oh, no, we don't know what's happening. And then, yeah, I just felt like, plus I felt like there was way too much. So that did not work for me. What did work for me was, number one, I enjoyed the characters. I liked them. Some of them I really liked, and I got attached to. Also, he can write scary creatures. there are two creatures in this that I would have nightmares about. I mean, very scary. I'm still thinking about it. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to ruin it for anybody who reads it. But man, he can write scary in those two situations. Oh, and other things. Oh, it's very. It reminded me of when I read The Walking Dead, the first one, because I did not continue on because I love the show, but I read the first. I want to say it was kind of like a graphic novel, maybe. I don't think it was a book. I don't think it was a novel. Anyway, it was so stressful. And this, oh, I was reading this and I would, like, my legs would be really tense and my body, I would find that I would be holding my body really tense and having to relax because it was so stressful of the what's happening now. So I'm done with that. I'm looking forward to next month's book. It's I forget the author's name, but I think it's called Children of Time. And I heard there's spiders. That's all I know about that. Anyway, if you hear like snorkeling, it's because little Prim is not feeling well and she is on my lap. So anyway, what I'm reading now, I am continuing. I'm still reading Zola, the first one. I'm starting chapter 5. I'm reading this with Ariane and Shawn Standfast, and Ariane just sent us a message saying that she finished the first one. Shawn has already read it before, but he's rereading it, and I'm not sure where he is exactly. So I'm guessing I'm pretty close. It's hard for me to tell because it says I'm 2% because I have all 20 novels together in one bind up, so it doesn't really tell me where I'm at. And even if it says like page 177, it doesn't matter because it's Kindle pages, which are shorter than an actual page, so it's kind of like you have to double it. At least that's how it is with me. Anyway, I am really enjoying this. Gosh, this family. So the name is the two different families, and I just think of McCourt, which I know this is so wrong with how I'm pronouncing it, but I'm reading it. I'm not listening to it, so, and I'm not French, so I don't understand the pronunciation. But in my head, I think of the McCourt and Rougon. Yeah, I'm sorry, I totally butchered that. Anyway, the two families like split, and you're learning about, the siblings are so different, but everybody is horrible, right? You start off with two characters that you love, and just a real short little time with them, and then you go into learning about their family and where they came from. And oh my gosh, the most horrible people in the world. And just selfish and greedy, and they don't take care of their families, and they aren't trustworthy, and just like users, and just horrible. Well, I am now to a point where I am back to those two people that we started out with, which are like grandchildren to the beginning of the line that they talk about. I think it's the beginning of the line, or maybe they're great grandchildren to the beginning of the line. I want to say grandchildren. It's a line too, I'm telling you. But anyway, yeah, I'm really enjoying that still, and I'm just slowly reading it. So two other books that I'm starting to read that I'm just taking my time with, because one of them is very stressful, and Finchurch is on it. I'm trying to slide it out from underneath him. Let me have it. So The Terror by Dan Simmons. As you can see, I am not very far along. I think I'm on like chapter 11. Oh my gosh, this book is so stressful. You want to take every single nightmare type, like things I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of most insects. I mean, I was afraid of some other things in the other book, but there's not a lot. I am afraid of like humans, but there's really not that a lot that I feel like I'm really afraid of. I mean, I'm afraid of social situations and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm talking about, I don't know. But I'm afraid of the cold. I'm afraid of the cold like this, where they talk about if you stay out here for too long, your nose could fall off and fingers can fall off, and you hypothermia. I'm afraid of ships. I think this is why I don't like the whole pirate stuff, because I am actually afraid of water. I love looking at it. I love being near it, like going to the ocean and like Virginia Beach and just looking out at it, maybe going in a little bit, not enough to like get stung by a jellyfish, but I like the feel of being around an ocean. Don't really like being in it. I don't mind like john boats and like the lakes where I'm at, because I mean I'm okay with that. I grew up with my grandpa. He had, when he retired, he got like a pontoon boat that he would take us kids and family out. I was fine on pontoon because you're on a small lake. Ships out in the ocean, no, nope, 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 nope. I don't know, I have a really good vivid imagination. And I would always think that something would happen. There'd be a huge like tidal wave. There would be some kind of leak or explosion. Something would happen, and it would sink, or I don't know. It just no. Anyway, this ship is the Terror. I mean, and it's just such a great name for what the story is. Anyway, it is encased. That's the wrong type of word for it, but it is surrounded and it is iced in. Like, it is trapped in ice. It cannot move. Provisions are low. And these men are dying. They're just like dying off. And this one thing just happened where there was a storm. They were out. Why are you guys out? I mean, I guess they have to hunt and stuff. Of course, you got polar bears too, which are crazy. But anyway, they're out and this storm comes and they have to all like huddle down underneath this tarp. And they say like the hail is so big and strong that it's like you're getting punched all over your body under this tarp. I mean, it's just like one nightmare thing after another. And his writing, it's like even talking about this, there's a woman on the boat and her name is Silence. And I don't know, I think she's Native American or Eskimo. I don't know what she is exactly. They probably don't even know. But they have me like wondering about her. Like, I don't know. It's scary. Everything about this is scary and intriguing and fascinating. And yeah, the writing is that immersive writing where it will just like suck you in. So I may not be reading this fast because I'm freaked out by it and I don't want to have nightmares. So in the next book, the other book that I started, is going to give me nightmares too. And I'm going to just very slowly read this. Aaron Facer, I believe, just read this and had a video where he was talking about it. I'll link his channel down below. The Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. So I'm only on chapter 3. I don't think I started chapter 4 yet. Yeah, I'm on chapter 3. Elixirs of Death. So it's talking about DDT right now. Which, we all know about that. We all heard about it. But, these like forever chemicals scare me. And everything, is like right now, gosh, politics and all that. I just like try to stay away and I try to be the best person that I can. I try to do the best that I can. But sometimes it's just, you're just trying to live your life. And when you stop and think about how you contribute to the environment, I mean, honestly, whatever you do, it is tiny compared to what these corporations do and these scientists who make these type of things. But I mean, we all need to do our part, right? We all need to care about the environment. We are the environment. Um, but my goodness, this book. And the thing is, things aren't better. She wrote this when she was 50, and I want to say, gosh, I can't even remember when she wrote it. But, well, she passed in 1964, so maybe the 50s. I'm not for sure. But, yeah. Is that what? Yeah. 1907 to 1964 is it has her birth and death date on the back, which is interesting. Anyway, yeah, so this is going to be very depressing to me, and I'm going to have to take it in little increments. So, yeah, those are two things that I'm reading that are stressful, guys. So, I have my Zola that I'm going to read before I go to bed. And so, since I have these two heavy hitters, I mean, that hit me. I mean, other people might not have any issue with it, but I guess I'm sensitive. Anyway, I went and got an audiobook from the library. That's just ridiculous, silly. I can't stand it half the time, but then it's also kind of like a comfort. And that's the Joanne Fluke series. I think it's book 27 or 28. It's like caramel pecan roll murder. So I'm having that silliness and cozy mystery where it's like, oh, okay, somebody got murdered, but it's okay, which is horrible. But yeah, so that's all the things I'm reading right now. I'm really wanting to read a Stephen King. I was thinking about rereading Needful Things, but then I thought, oh, I have short stories of his that I haven't even read yet. And I haven't read his two newest books, Holly and If You Like It Darker or You Like It Darker. So yeah, I would like to pick up a King and maybe read a short story of his, just because I'm misreading his stuff. So something I got from the library that I'm planning on watching, on top of my little TV, and that's, I know this much is true. I read this book, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, by Wally Lamb. It was my favorite book of the year. It's a nice, big, chunky book, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, it's on my favorite shelf. Absolutely love it. So I'm nervous because a lot of times movies will mess everything up, but it has more than one disc. So, and it's a long movie. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Let me know if you've watched it, if you've read it. Have you read This Much Is, I Know This Much Is True? Because, yeah, I absolutely loved the book. There's a part, though, I bet they would leave out of the movie. The part about his grandfather. I doubt if they tell that much about it. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you guys have watched it. Let me know if you have any thoughts about any of these books. Let me know what you're reading right now. I can't believe March is like halfway over. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, I think, or the 16th, 17th. I'm not for sure. I'm horrible about holidays. But I hope you guys have a happy St. Patrick's Day wherever you are. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're enjoying what you're reading. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.